Hello, everybody. So let's continue with lesson 1.8, relate multiplication to division. We're on page 35 of the 5th grade Go Math textbook. Our essential question today is, how is multiplication used to solve a division problem? Okay, well, you can use the relationship between multiplication and division to solve a division problem. Using the same numbers, multiplication and division are opposite or inverse operations. And so on a simple basis, 3 times 8, those are the factors that give us the product 24. But if I use those same numbers, I can actually create a division problem, right? 24 divide by 3 gives me the quotient 8. So Joe and 5 friends collected 126 marbles. They shared the marbles equally. How many marbles will each person get? Joel and 5 friends. 126 marbles. How many marbles will each person get? So underline the dividend. The dividend is 126. That's how much we're sharing. What's the divisor? 6. Because Joel and 5 friends equals 6. All right, so our division problem is 126 divided by 6. And so one way we can do that is to make an array. I can make rows of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Until I get to 126. So let's just skip count by 6s. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78, 84, 90, 96, 102, 108, 114, 120, 126. So we have a 6 by what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have 21, 6 rows of 21. So how many squares are shaded in each row? Sorry about that. So we have 6 rows, and in each row there are 21. So now we can use the array to complete the multiplication sentence. So, and then we can use the multiplication sentence to complete the division sentence. 6 times 21, 6 rows of 21 is 126. So 126 divided by 6 is 21. So each of the 6 friends will get 21 marbles. All right, so that's one way we can make an array. Another way is to use the distributive property. So divide 52 by 4. Okay, you can use the distributive property and an area model to solve division problems. Remember that the distributive property states that multiplying a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each addend in the sum by the number and then adding the products. So multiply a sum by a number is the same as multiplying each of the addends in the sum by the number and then add the products. So step 1, remember we're dividing 52 divided by 4. So write a related multiplication sentence for the division problems. 4 times what is 52. So take the divisor and make it one of the factors of a multiplication problem. Well, we don't know the quotient in the division problem, so that means we're missing one of the factors. So 4 times something is the dividend, 52, or in the multiplication problem, 4 times some factor is the product, 52. All right, so that's all we had to do in step 1, write a related multiplication problem. So it's in the same thing as thinking about the array, in a sense that we have 4 rows of something has to give us 52. And it's also the same as the area of a rectangle, the base times its height. The base is something, height of 4 will give us 52. So step 2, use the distributive property to break apart the large area into smaller areas for partial products that you know. In other words, what they're asking you is, what are multiples of 4 that would make dividing 52 easier? Well, one of the easiest ones is 4 times 10. So we can take 52 and make it 40 plus 12. Those are much simpler facts of 4. 4 times what is 40? Well, 4 times 10. 4 times what is 12? 4 times 3. Okay, so what did we do? All we did was take the 52 and broke it up into 2 smaller partial products. Okay, so now find the sum of the unknown factors of the smaller areas. What were the unknown factors? 10 and 3. So just add those together and we get 13. So now, step 4, write the multiplication sentence with the unknown factor that you found. Then use the multiplication sentence to find the quotient. So we're saying 4 times 13 is 52. Well, 4 times 13 is 52. Then 52 divided by 4 is 13. Okay. Let's go ahead and fill in these question marks on this area model. 4 times what is 40? 10, right? 4 times what is 12? 3. So 4 times 10 plus 4 times 3 gives us 52. 40 plus 12 is 52. All right, so explain how you can use the distributive property to find the quotient 96 divided by 8. Well, let's start by rewriting 96 divided by 8 as a multiplication problem. Okay, and we're going to write 8 times something equals 96. 8 times something is 96. Now, break up the 96, then break up 96 into 2 smaller areas for partial products that we know. Okay, so what can we break 96 up to when we're multiplying by 8? Well, again, 8 times 10, that's a really nice number, right? So we can break up 96 as 80 plus 16. Then 8 times 10 is 80 plus 8 times 2 is 16. Add 10 and 2 to get 8 times 12 equals 96. So 96 divided by 8 equals 12. Okay, so let's keep practicing. Page 37. Brad has 72 toy cars that he puts into 4 equal groups. How many cars does Brad have in each group? All right, so we have 72 toy cars. We have 4 equal groups. How many cars does he have in each group? Use the array to show your answer. So 4 times something is 72. Well, so we're going to have rows of 4 until we get to 72. Well, I know 4 times 10 is 40, so I'm going to go ahead and jump out to 10. Jump out 10, put 10 in each row for right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 4 times 10 is 40, and we have to get to 72. So we're at 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 64, 68, 72. Well, that's the whole thing, right? All right. So we have 4 rows of what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. We have 4 times 18 is 72. So if 4 times 18 is 72, 72 divided by 4 is 18. Number 2, 3 and 4. Use multiplication and the distributive property to find the quotient. So we have 108 divided by 6 equals what? Well, first, rewrite that as a multiplication problem. 6 times something is 108. Well, 6 times 10 is 60, so I can take that away from the 108. So let's start there. So if we take 60, 6 times 10 is 60, let's take away 60 from 108. That leaves us 48. So we're going to rewrite this problem as 6 sorry, let me back up. So all we're doing is trying to find 2 smaller partial products for 108 that are easy factors or easy products for factors of 6. So 60, why is that easy? Because 6 times 10. Okay, so I subtracted 60 from 108. That left me 48 for the other partial product. All right, so now 6 times what is 60? 10. Plus 6 times what is 48? 6 times 8. And that equals 108. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 8 is 48. Add the unknown factors of 10 and 8, and that gives us 18. So if 6 times 18 is 108, then 108 divided by 6 is 18. Number 3, 84 divided by 6. Let's write it as a multiplication problem first. 6 times something equals 84. Now we need to break up the 84 into 2 smaller products. Well, again, 6 times 10 is 60, right? So let's do that again. We're going to make one of the products 60 and the other one 24. So we're going to break 84 into 60 plus 24. Okay, so 6 times what is 60? 6 times 10 plus 6 times 4. 6 times 4 is 24. And together that equals 84. Add the unknown factors of 10 and 4, and we get 14. So 6 times 14 is 84. So 84 divided by 6 is 14. One hundred eighty-four divided by 8. 8 times something is 184. Now we need to break up the 184 into two smaller products. Now 8 times 10 is 80, and I could do that, but 104, that's still kind of hard to divide by 8. How about 20? What's 20 times 8? That's 160, right? Because 8 times 2 is 16, followed by the 1 0. So let's do 160 plus what? Well, what's 184? Take away 160. 24. All right, so all we did, or all I've done, is broken up 184 into two smaller products. And the reason I went so large with this is because I know 8 times 20 is 160. So let's do that. 8 times 20 plus 8 times what is 24? 8 times 3. 8 times 20 is 160. 8 times 3 is 24. So 20 plus 3, 20 plus 3 equals 23. So 8 times 23 equals 184. If 8 times 23 equals 24, then 184 divided by 8 equals 23. I just wanted to go back and make sure that you understood that that should be 6 times the sum of 10 and 8. Okay. This one, the 10 and 4, it should be 6 times the sum of 10 and 4. So 6 times 14. Here, 8 times the sum of 20 plus 3. 8 times 23 is 184. All right, number 5. Use multiplication and the distributive property to find the quotient. 60 divided by 4. 1, 4 times something equals 60. Well, 4 times 10 is 40. So I'm going to start there by taking away 40 from 60. Okay, do you agree that 40 plus 20 equals 60? Yeah, okay. So 4 times 40 plus 4 times 20 . Oh, sorry. I had brain freeze there for a second. 4 times what is 40? 4 times what is 40? 10. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times what is 20? 5. All right, so 4 times the sum of 10 and 5 equals 60. So 4 times 15 equals 60. So if 4 times 50 equals 60, then 60 divided by 4 equals 15. Okay, 144 divided by 6. 6 times something is 144. So what we want to do is break up the 144 into something, two smaller partial products. And this time, 6 times 10 is 60. I think I can get closer to 144. Let's take two multiples of 10. So 20 times 6 is 120. But what's 144? Take away 120. 24. So what do? All we did was break up the 144 into two smaller partial products. Now we're going to multiply the 6 times something to get 120. 6 times 20 plus 6 times something is 24. 6 times 4 is 24. And if I add those together, it's going to give me 144. So 6 times what? 6 times the sum of 20 plus 4. 6 times 24 is 144. So 144 divided by 6 is 24. All right, 252 divided by 9. 9 times something equals 252. Well, 90, I could take 9 times 10 and take away 90 from 252, but that leaves me a large number to still divide by 9. So how about 9 times 20? 9 times 20 would be 180. So 252. If one of the add-ins is 180, the other one has to be, if one of the products is 180, then the other one has to be 72. All right, so 180 plus 72 is 252. All we did was break up the 252 into two smaller products. So 9 times what is 180? 9 times 20 plus 9 times what is 72? 9 times 20 is 180. 9 times what is 72? 9 times 8. So rewrite it as 9 times 20 plus 8 equals 252. So 9 times 28 equals 252. So if 9 times 28 is 252, then 252 divided by 9 is 28. Find each quotient, then compare right less than, greater than, or equal. 51 divided by 3 compared to 68 divided by 4. 51 divided by 3. So 3 times something is 51. Well, I can take away 30 or break up 51 into 30 and 21. So that equals 51. So 3 times 10 is 30 and 3 times 7 is 21. So it's going to be 3 times 10 plus 7. 3 times 10 plus 7, 17. So 17 is the quotient for that one. And 68 divided by 4. 4 times something is 68. I'm going to break up 68 into 40 plus 28. 68 minus 40 is 28. All right. So 40 plus 28 is 68. Now those are easy products of, or multiples of 4. 4 times what is 40? 4 times 10. 4 times what is 28? 7. So 4 times 10 plus 7. 4 times 17. So they're equal. Number 9. I just want to make sure I had enough space, so I'm going to go ahead and write these on this piece of scratch paper. 252 divide by 6 compared to 135 divide by 3. All right, so let's look at this. So we're going to change it to a multiplication problem. 6 times something is 252. Now I can take several multiples of 10 and multiply by 6. So I can take 240 from the 252. That's going to leave me 12. So why do you think I took such a large number from the 252? Well, guys, what's 6 times 4? 6 times 4 is 24. So 6 times 40 is 240. Plus 6 times what is 12? 6 times 2. So if we add those two products together, we should get 252. Okay, 240 plus 12, 252. So let's rewrite it as 60 times 40 plus 2. Where did we get the 40 and the 2? Because that's what we're multiplying by the 6. Okay? So 6 times 40 plus 2 equals 252. So it's 6 times 42 equals 252. So our quotient for the first one is 42. Now let's do 3 times something is 135. Okay, we rewrote the division problem as a multiplication problem. 3 times something is 130. Okay, so what's the closest I can get to 135 using like multiples of 10? 3 times 10 is 30. That's still going to leave me over 100 to divide by 3, and I don't want to do that. 3 times 20, that's 60. 3 times 30 is 90. 3 times 40 is 120. That's pretty close. So let's go 120 plus what? Well, I'm taking 120 from 135. So the other product has to be 15 if we're going to have them add up to 135. Okay, so now 3 times what is 120? 3 times what is 120? 40. Plus 3 times what is 15? 3 times 5. Okay, rewrite it as 3 times the sum of 40 plus 5. 3 times 45. So 135 divided by 3 is 45. 252 divided by 6 is 42. So 42, in our book, it's 252 divided by 6 compared to 135 divided by 3. So 252 is less than 135 divided by 3. All right, and number 10. 110 divided by 5. 110 divide by 5 compared to 133 divide by 7. Okay. So what are we going to do first? Let's change this division problem to a multiplication problem. 5 times something is 110. Well, 5 times 2 is 10, right? So 5 times 2 is 10, then 5 times 20 is 100. So I'm going to break 110 into 100 plus 10. All right, so 5 times what is 100? 5 times 20. Plus 5 times what is 10? 5 times 2. So we're going to rewrite that as 5 times the sum of 20 plus 2. 5 times 22. So 5 times 22 is 110. Then 110 divided by 5 is 22. All right, let's solve 133 divided by 7. So that would be 7 times something is 133. Well, let's see. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 2 is 140. So I can't break it into 40. So let's go 70. So 10 times 7 is 70, right? So I'm going to take away 70 from the 133, and that leaves me 63. Well, that's an easy factor for 7. 7 times something is 63. 7 times 9, right? Okay, so we're taking the product here and breaking it up into two smaller products. So 7 times what is 70? 7 times 10. Plus 7 times what is 63? Well, if 7 times 10 is 70, 7 times 9 is 1 7 less, which is 63. So we can rewrite that as 7 times the sum of 10 plus 9. So 7 times 19 equals 133. If 7 times 19 is 133, then 133 divided by 7 is 19. So 22 is larger than 19. So 110 divided by 5 is greater than 133 divided by 7. All right, let's move on. Number 11. All right, use the table to solve questions 11 and 12. So our table has bouncy balls, and it has 3 different sizes. And this is the number of the balls in each bag. Okay, and it's telling us that mm stands for millimeters. Okay, so Mr. Henderson has 2 bouncy ball vending machines. He buys 1 bag of the 27 millimeter balls and 1 bag of the 40 millimeter balls. He puts an equal number of each in the 2 machines. How many bouncy balls does he put in each machine? Okay, so 27 millimeters has 180 balls per bag, and the 40 millimeter has 80. Okay, so he puts an equal number of each in the 2 machines. How many bouncy balls does he put in each machine? Well, a couple of ways we could solve this. Since I just want to know how many bouncy balls total does he put in each machine, We could take 180, divide by 2, and add the other type, 80 divided by 2. Or I could add 180 plus 80 and divide by 2. Okay? However you want to do it. So 2 times what is 180? Well, 2 times 9 is 18, so 2 times 90. Okay, so 90 of the 27 millimeter, and 2 times what is 80? 2 times 40. So he puts a total of 90 and 40. 180 plus 80 would be 260 divided by 2. 2 times what is 260? Well, 2 times 100 is 200, right? So let's take away 200 plus 60. 200 plus 60 is 260. 2 times what is 200? 100. 2 times 100 plus 2 times what is 60? 2 times 30 is 60. So 2 times 100 plus 30. 2 times 130. So 130 in each machine. If we're doing it by separate, it would have been 90 plus 40. 9 plus 4 is 13 tenths, so 130. Number 12. Lindsay buys a bag of each size of bouncy ball. She wants to put the same number of each size of bouncy ball into 5 party favor bags. How many of each size of bouncy ball will she put in each bag? Okay, so she's going to have one of each. Okay, so we have 27 millimeters, 40 millimeters, and 45 millimeters. So the 27 is 180 divided by 5. The 40 millimeters would be 80 divided by 5. And the 45, that's the same as the 27. There's 180 in them. Okay, so really I only have 2 different problems here because this one's going to be the same as this. So 5 times something is 180, and 5 times something is 80. Well, 5 times 10 is 50. I can keep more than that. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 30 is 150. So I'm going to take 150 plus 30 to get 180. So 5 times what is 150? Well, what's 5 times what is 15? 3, right? So 5 times 30 is 150, plus 5 times 6 is 30. So we get 5 times the sum of 30 plus 6. So 36 bouncy balls that are 27 millimeters. Okay, let's do the 5 times what is 80. Well, this time let's break the 80 into 50 plus 30. 5 times what is 50? 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times what is 30? 5 times 6. So we can rewrite that as 5 times the sum of 10 plus 6. 5 times the sum of 10 plus 6. So 5 times 16 is 80. So 80 divided by 5 is 16. So 40 millimeter equals 16. And the 45 millimeters would also be 36. Right? 13. Sandra writes 4 times 30 plus 4 times 2 and says the quotient for 128 divided by 4 is 8. Is she correct? And explain. No. How do I know she's wrong? Because remember that 4 times 30 plus 4 times 2 is rewritten as 4 times the sum of 30 and 2. So 4 times 32 equals 128. And 128 divided by 4 equals 32, not 8. 14. Joe collected 45 seashells. Joe wants to share his seashells with 5 of his friends equally. How many seashells will each friend get? Use the array to show your answer. Okay, so 2, 4, 5. We have 5 friends, and we have to get to 45. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So we have 5 friends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And each of them will get 9. So 5 times what is 45? 9. 45 divided by 5 is what? 9. All right. So that's it for this lesson. In our next lesson, we'll do some problem solving using multiplication and division. So until then, I will see you soon.